A fictional character who has no origin story, no consistent motivation, and no clear psychology has become more culturally influential than most real historical figures. The Joker has generated billions of dollars, inspired academic dissertations, been cited in manifestos, and when you ask audiences whether they fear him or understand him, the most common answer is most likely both. That should not be possible. You cannot simultaneously fear something and identify with it, unless that contradiction is the point. My name is Winston, and today from my library we are examining the Joker, not as Batman's nemesis, as a cultural virus. A character who should not work, whose entire design violates basic storytelling principles, and yet has achieved a level of cultural penetration matched by almost no other fictional villain. The Joker first appeared in 1940, originally intended to be killed off after one issue. The character has since appeared in thousands of comics, multiple television series, video games, and films that have collectively earned over $3 billion. He has been portrayed by Cesar Romero, Jack Nicholson, Heath Ledger, Jared Leto, and Joaquin Phoenix. Each interpretation is distinct. None are definitive. That is the first anomaly.
Winston, man. Plenty of characters get different versions. That's just adaptation. Sherlock Holmes, Dracula, they all change with the times, yeah? What makes the Joker special?
Those characters have consistent cores. Sherlock Holmes is almost always a detective. Dracula is always a vampire. The Joker has no consistent anything. No real name, no confirmed origin, no stable motivation. Even his appearance changes, sometimes scarred by chemicals, sometimes makeup, sometimes surgical mutilation. He is narratively incoherent. And yet this incoherence is somehow central to his appeal. Every attempt to give him a definitive backstory, like in The Killing Joke, being the most famous, ends with the Joker himself stating that he prefers his past to be multiple choice. He is a character who refuses to be understood, and audiences love him for it. That violates everything audiences claim they want. People say they want the complex characters, psychological depth, understandable motivations, and the Joker provides none of these. He is chaos wearing a smile, and he is one of the most beloved villains in fiction. So, we must ask, what is the actual appeal? Not the stated appeal. Let us examine what the Joker actually does across his portrayals. He commits violence. He creates chaos. He targets innocent people. He has no redemptive qualities, no tragic backstory that excuses behavior, and no higher purpose. He is explicitly, consistently, irredeemably harmful. And audiences watch him and laugh. Not at him, with him. His jokes are funny. His chaos is entertaining. And his violence is aesthetically pleasing. This is the second anomaly. You are meant to enjoy watching someone be evil.
But Winston, he's a villain. That's the whole point of villains. They do bad things so the hero can stop them. Why is enjoying watching a villain do villain things a problem, man?
Because most villains are framed as threats to be overcome. You watch Darth Vader and want Luke to defeat him. You watch Voldemort and root for Harry Potter. The villain serves the hero's journey. The Joker does not serve Batman's journey. Batman serves his. Watch how scenes are structured. In most Batman-Joker confrontations, the Joker is having more fun. He is more entertaining. He has better lines. The camera loves him. The audiences remember his speeches, his aesthetic, his philosophy. Batman is a protagonist structurally. The Joker is a protagonist psychologically. And this creates a permission structure. The Joker allows audiences to enjoy transgression without guilt. He has no tragic backstory demanding sympathy, no noble cause justifying his actions. He is pure ID, pure impulse, pure I do this because I want to. And watching him do what he wants, harm people, create chaos, reject all the rules, is vicarious liberation. But here's what makes this particularly effective. The Joker is funny. His violence is accompanied by jokes. His chaos is theatrical. His evil is performed with style. He transforms atrocity into entertainment. And entertainment is easy to enjoy. You do not have to morally justify enjoying the Joker because he is clearly evil. There is no question, no ambiguity. He is the villain, which means you can enjoy watching him be villainous without feeling complicit. The clarity of his evil provides permission for your enjoyment of it.
So people like the Joker because he's so obviously bad that it's okay to enjoy watching him? That's twisted logic, Winston.
That is human psychology. Absolute evil is paradoxically more comfortable than ambiguous evil, and you know where you stand. You are not being asked to sympathize or justify, you can simply enjoy the performance. But we have not yet addressed the core of the Joker's philosophy, what he represents beyond violence and chaos. His most famous speeches, across all portrayals, contain a consistent theme. Madness is like gravity, all it takes is a little push. When the chips are down, these civilized people, they'll eat each other. I'm not a monster, I'm just ahead of the curve. These are not random statements, they are a thesis. The Joker's argument is always the same. Civilization is a thin veneer, rules are arbitrary, morality is performance, and people are one bad day away from becoming him. And this argument resonates with audiences because part of them believes this is true. Not consciously, but structurally. Modern life is exhausting. You follow rules, maintain civility, suppress impulses, perform sanity. And for what? Systems fail, institutions lie, effort does not guarantee outcome, and the social contract feels increasingly one-sided. The Joker offers an alternative. What if you stop pretending? What if you acknowledge that rules are arbitrary and acted accordingly? What if you embrace chaos instead of resisting it? What if you laughed at the absurdity instead of maintaining the fiction that anything matters?
That's nihilism, Winston. That's just giving up and deciding nothing means anything. Most people don't actually want that, yeah? They just feel that way sometimes when things are bad.
And the Joker provides a safe space to feel that way. You can enjoy his nihilism vicariously, experience the liberation of abandoning meaning without actually abandoning it in your own life. He does the chaos for you. You watch, you laugh, and you return to your structured life slightly relieved. But here is where everything becomes concerning. The Joker's philosophy is explicitly anti-meaning. He believes nothing matters, that chaos is the only truth, that trying to impose order is delusion. And increasingly, audiences do not just enjoy watching him, they agree with him. Online discourse is saturated with Joker quotes treated as wisdom. Society became a meme specifically because of the 2019 film. People described feeling like the Joker, isolated, dismissed, mocked by systems that do not care. The character has become a framework for articulating alienation.
But that's dangerous, man. The Joker is a mass murderer. Using him as a framework for your personal feelings is, Winston, that's not healthy. That's identifying with a psychopath.
That is precisely my point, and it is happening at scale. Now we arrive at the central question. Are audiences meant to fear the Joker or identify with him? The answer is both, and that both is the mechanism. The Joker is designed to be simultaneously threatening and relatable. He is a monster, but he is a monster who articulates things you have felt, who voices thoughts you have had but suppressed, who acts on impulses you have controlled. He is the part of you that you fear becoming, and the part of you that sometimes wants to stop fighting, not to become. This creates a psychological trap. You are supposed to fear him. He represents chaos, violence, and breakdown of order. But you are also supposed to understand him. He represents frustration with systems, recognition of absurdity, desire for liberation from constraint. You fear what he does. You understand why he does it. And different portrayals emphasize different aspects. Jack Nicholson's Joker is primarily threatening, a gangster clown. Heath Ledger's Joker is primarily philosophical, an agent of chaos, articulating nihilism. Joaquin Phoenix's Joker is primarily tragic, a mentally ill man failed by systems. But audiences respond to all of them, because the core mechanism remains. He is what happens when someone stops pretending, stops following rules, stops caring about consequences, stops maintaining the performance of sanity and civilization. And everyone at some level is performing. Performing competence at work, performing stability in relationships, performing contentment with circumstances, performing belief that effort matters and systems work and meaning exists. The performance is exhausting. The Joker is the fantasy of stopping, not necessarily the fantasy of violence, though that appeals to some. The fantasy of honesty, of saying what you actually think, of doing what you actually want, of laughing at the absurdity instead of participating in the pretense.
But that's not freedom, Winston. That's just destruction. The Joker doesn't build anything. He doesn't create. He just tears down. That's not liberation. That's just being broken and making it everyone else's problem.
Correct. But when people feel sufficiently broken, making it everyone else's problem starts to seem fair. If the system broke you, breaking the system feels like justice. The Joker provides the blueprint. And this is where fiction and reality begin to blur dangerously. The Joker is fictional. He is a chaos narrative. His philosophy is written by screenwriters, but people absorb it as if it were wisdom, as if the character's designed to be wrong is somehow right. So what does the Joker cultural dominance reveal? What does it mean that this character has become one of the most recognizable and beloved villains in modern culture? It means a significant portion of populations feel alienated enough to find nihilistic chaos relatable, that the social contract feels sufficiently broken, that burn it all down sounds reasonable, that institutional failure is so visible that the Joker claims they'll eat each other when things get bad. Seems plausible rather than paranoid. The Joker flourishes in eras of instability. He appeared in 1940 during World War II. He achieved new prominence in 1989. The Cold War's anxieties. His philosophical depth emerged in 2008, financial crisis and institutional collapse. His tragic, sympathetic portrayal in 2019, a political polarization, social fragmentation, and economic precarity. The character is a barometer. When systems feel stable, he is a colorful villain. When systems feel unstable, he is a prophet. And currently, he is being treated as a prophet by audiences who see their own alienation reflected in this chaos. But here is the trap. The Joker represents. He offers diagnosis without cure. He identifies problems. Systems fail. Meaning is arbitrary, and effort is futile. But he provides no alternative except destruction. He is a critique without construction, anger without direction, chaos without purpose.
So he's popular because people are angry, and he represents that anger? But he doesn't actually offer solutions, just destruction? That sounds like he's feeding on despair, Winston.
He is feeding on despair, and despair is currently abundant, which is why he is everywhere, why his cults circulate, why people describe feeling like the Joker, why the character has transcended being a Batman villain and became a cultural symbol. And the most disturbing aspect is that enjoying the Joker requires no self-examination. You can watch him, quote him, identify with him, and never confront what that identification means. He is fictional. Enjoying fiction is harmless. Relating to a character is normal. The engagement feels safe. Until it's not. Until someone absorbs a philosophy too literally. Until the fiction becomes the blueprint rather than the catharsis. Until society made me this way becomes justification rather than observation. So we return to the question, are you meant to fear the Joker or identify with him? You are meant to do both. The fear keeps you engaged. The identification keeps you returning. He is the monster you understand, the villain you relate to, the chaos that makes sense when order does not. And that makes him extraordinarily dangerous. Not as a fictional character, fiction cannot harm you, but as a framework, a lens to which you view your own alienation, frustration, and anger. Because the Joker offers an answer to suffering that is simple, clear, and wrong. When systems fail you, burn you, when people disappoint you and hurt you, when meaning evaporates, laugh at the void. When nothing matters, make nothing matter violently. The Joker did not discover that meaning is arbitrary and chaos is truth. He decided those things because maintaining structure was too difficult. His philosophy is not profound, it is lazy. But lazy philosophy is appealing when you are exhausted. And many people are exhausted by performance, by rules that seem arbitrary, that demonstrably fail, by effort that produces no outcome. The Joker says, stop trying, embrace chaos, laugh at the absurdity, and burn what burns.
What happens when enough people start thinking like the Joker, Winston? What happens when enough people decide nothing matters and chaos is honest?
Then the Joker wins. Not the fictional character, the philosophy, the framework, the belief that civilization is a joke and burning it down is the punchline. So here is my question for you, and what I want you to consider honestly. When you watch the Joker, when you laugh at his jokes, appreciate his aesthetic, quote his philosophy, Are you engaging with a fictional villain? Or are you rehearsing a worldview? Are you entertained by chaos? Or are you beginning to agree that chaos is the only honest response to the world you inhabit? Because the line between enjoying the Joker and becoming the Joker is thinner than you think. It is the line between fiction and philosophy, between entertainment and ideology. Between this character articulates my frustration and this character is correct about my reality. And that line is crossed quietly, gradually, one quote at a time, one Joker was right at a time. One moment of thinking, society is the problem, and burning it down sounds fair, at a time. The Joker is not a prophet. He is a symptom. He shows you what happens when alienation becomes philosophy, when frustration becomes nihilism, when exhaustion becomes violence. And if you see yourself in him, if his chaos makes sense, if his philosophy sounds wise, if his laughter at meaning feels accurate, that is not because he is correct. That is because you are in pain. And pain, when unaddressed, starts to sound like the Joker. Starts to think burning everything is the same as fixing everything. The comments section is open. Tell me honestly, do you fear the Joker or do you understand him? And if you understand him, what does that understanding feel like? Because understanding is supposed to reduce fear. But with the Joker, understanding increases it. Understanding means recognizing how close you are to the same conclusion. How thin the line is between structure and chaos, between meaning and absurdity, and how easy it would all be to just laugh.